My name is Veronica. I was in the Marine Corps. I served from 2008 to 2015, and I went to Afghanistan in 2010 to 2011. We did, I think, 7 months in Afghanistan, and we didn't have any issues. We all came back. And then a couple days after we had got back, a friend of ours had died in a car accident. He had two kids, a wife. So that was like really difficult. That was the first time I really had lost someone that I was pretty close to. Um, After deployment, we didn't really talk about it. I was young, but I was also still in a leadership position. It was kind of like, you have to be strong for the junior Marines, you have to be strong for everybody. I definitely underestimated getting out. I thought it was going to be a lot easier. I thought I was going to get out. Oh, I'm a veteran. I'm going to have jobs lined up. And that was not the case. I had to pretty much learn everything over again. And that was a huge, eye opener for me because I thought, oh, veterans, people are going to be calling me for jobs, not I'm going to have to learn how to interview and I'm going to have to learn how to write a resume. I remember my first interview, I didn't even make it because I had to pull over so many times because I was throwing up because I was just so anxious. And I just couldn't figure out, why am I so nervous? Like, I was in the Marine Corps, I know how to do this. Like, this is not that hard. I would get an interview and then not go because of my anxiety. I automatically put in my head that I wasn't going to get it. So then I just wasn't, going to interviews. I wasn't applying for jobs that I thought that I would, qualify for. I passed up a lot of job opportunities that I look back and say, man, I wish I would have applied for this because I let my anxiety get to me. I tried to, just, get myself in sports, try to, keep myself, like, constantly keep my schedule busy, like how I was when I was in the Marine Corps, so that I didn't have time to think about it. And then after a while, I stopped going to, play softball. I stopped going to play basketball. And I just started, like, sitting in my house. Like, friends would call me, hey, you want to go out? And then, like, I wouldn't go. And I'm just like, yeah, I definitely, like, started just not having interest in things anymore. And that's when I went to the VA. At first I was just like, I don't know if this is even for me. Like, can I even be seen at the VA? So it took me a couple times to like actually understand exactly what the VA offers. They have so many good programs, but you have to actually like go out and find out. But I mean, once I started asking questions like, can I be seen for this? And they're like, definitely. I was like, can I be seen for this? And they're like, of course. And I was just like, oh, I didn't know that. Put me in contact with this. It's called the Choice Program. So I was able to see an outside therapist. Um, she was amazing. I talked to her. I think I've seen her twice a week. So I went to see her for like my anxiety and my depression for that. I was definitely the person who thought, this is my problem. I have to deal with it. And it's a lot. It's a lot to put on yourself. And just like the moment I was able to go and talk to someone, it felt like a huge burden it was just lifted off of me. I ended up finding a great um, veteran resource that gives you little mock interviews, and it was amazing because they're actual real HR people that will sit down with you and give you a mock interview. So that helped me with um, being more calm and just not being so anxious and being able to do an interview. So there's lots of groups that I'm in on social media for veterans. And so just like reaching out, especially like we do we have phone rosters in one of my groups, and we always they assign someone. They're like, hey, call this person, see how they're doing, just checking up on a veteran. You're not the only one out there. Um, Reach out if you feel like something's not right. Believe, trust your gut, and just reach out to someone. You don't have to tell them exactly what's going on, but just like let them know, hey, something's not right. Try to just get some help. There's definitely resources out there. It's not something to be shameful about.